Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 1. So for our Vlogmas, they're just gonna be short videos here and there every day. And we're gonna cover frequently asked questions that I get from you guys. I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to participate in Vlogmas and finally answer the questions that you guys leave me under so many of my comments that I just don't have the time to get back to. So today's question that I always get asked is, how was I able to leave corporate America as a single mom? So I will tell you that I was very strategic about leaving corporate America. For those who don't know, my name is Crystal Williams Foster, and I originally had a career in human resources. I was a manager for I was an HR manager for a litigation firm. And I had been working in HR for about 7 years, and your girl got tired. I was very burnt out. I was over it. I hated going to work. I felt as if there had to be more to my life. I loved being on camera, and overall content creation just made me happy. But I'm a single mom. You don't just up and quit no job, especially when you're not getting any type of financial support. So what I did to be able to leave corporate America, I took a couple of steps. The first step that I took first and foremost was I started an online business. Now, if you don't have an online business, just starting an extra stream of income is the key. I knew that I needed some type of income coming in, so when I quit, I could replace my company's income. Now, I was making about $5,000 a month. You're probably thinking that's great money. I promise you it was crumbs. I lived in Irvine, California. If you have a moment, pull it up. You'll see it's one of the most expensive areas to live in California. So being paid $5,000 before taxes wasn't cutting it. But up until then, I've been robbing Peter to pay Paul my entire life. And so I was used to it. But in my mind, I knew that there had to be more to life. And so I started with an online business. You don't have to start with an online business. You can do a side hustle, you can sell digital products, and so much more. If you need help figuring out maybe what to do, I recommend watching this video here where I talk about side hustles that can make you roughly about $100 a day. Because that's exactly how I started. I figured out what is my daily amount. And for me, I knew that I needed to make at least $200 a day online to comfortably be able to quit my job. And so that's what I did. Started this online business. It was a fitness business called Manny's Mom Fitness. A lot of you guys who follow me found me there originally because my workout plans were amazing. I show you guys how I build my butt and shrink my gut after having a baby. And those plans are still available for sale, so I'll link those below as well. And so my goal every day online was just to make sure I sold at least $200. And so that's what I started to do. I launched the store in May of 2019. And in my first month, I sold $3,000, right? But come month 2, month 3, I was making about $700. That wasn't gonna be enough. So I started pushing myself to just do more posts, more engagement, start a private Facebook group. Eventually I got it up to about $1,000 to $1,200 a month. And then I started to feel the weight of just having a job and my online business and constantly being online. And then my aunt, who was living with me at the time, she passed away. Once she passed away, I started to really grieve. It was very hard for me to really overcome that. And so I decided that I was gonna take a leave of absence. Now, keep in mind, I have been running this online business since May of 2019. This is now November of 2019. May, June, July, August, September. That's 6 months. All I've been doing with the income that I've been getting is paying off debt and putting money in savings. I decided I was gonna take a leave of absence and go all in and see what was it like to truly run my business for 6 to 8 hours every single day. And that's exactly what I did. Took my FMLA leave so that I could properly grieve my aunt, and I worked in my business every single day, Monday through Friday. And November ended up being my first month that I hit about $4,000 made. December, I ended up making about $5,000. And January, I made about $5,500. And that's January of 2020. I decided to go back to work in January, but I will tell you that seeing that November, December, and January, I was able to actually duplicate the amount of income my job was paying me just blew my mind. And I believe that was the moment I knew that I was going to quit. I started to save even more money every single month, as well as pay off my debt. And then come May 20th of 2020, my son was diagnosed with dyslexia. And he was going into 6th grade. His neurologist told us, he's kind of late with his diagnosis. If you really want to give him a fighting chance when it comes to junior high and high school, we recommend you put him in a private dyslexia school. I looked one up, which was close by us, and it was $30,000 a year. And so I told my husband, boyfriend at the time, I said, you know what, I'm going to quit my job. I've been wanting to quit it. And they pay me, $62,000 a year is what I was roughly making. And so if I stay at this job, there's 100% chance I'll never be able to afford the school that my son needs. But if I quit, there's a possibility that I might be able to cover the tuition for this private dyslexia school. And so he got diagnosed on May 20th. I put my 2 weeks notice in on May 20th, but I overall did not leave and walk away till about July 6th. Keep in mind, from the 20th to July 6th, I was only working about 6 hours a day for that company because I had to focus on my business, because I knew that come October, when I wanted to enroll him in this possible school, I would need a whole bunch of income to start paying this almost new, $4,000 bill a month. What I want you to know is that I found out what my daily amount was. That was the first thing. How much money do I need a day? The second thing I want you to note is that I made sure I had savings. I had almost 6 months of savings saved up. We ended up qualifying for financial aid for the school because it was based off my 2019 tax returns. So we were able to get his tuition down to about $1,500 every single month. So between that and making almost $10,000 to $12,000 a month in my business, I was able to cover his tuition. And I will tell you that he really needed that school. He was getting, of course he was in elementary and they don't have C's and D's, but all D's, like the number 2, it would be 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, behavior, all types of issues. And he ended up staying in that school for 6th grade and 7th grade. And we put him in public school in 8th grade. And sure enough, he graduated with a 3.5 GPA. I think he has like a 3.2 right now. And he's in his first year of high school, which has been pretty hard for him. But honestly, if he had not went to that school and if I had not walked out on faith, I don't know where he would be academically. And it was one of the best decisions I ever made for myself. But I promise you, I was terrified because I've never not had a job. Like I was raised in a generation where you go to school, you go to high school, you graduate and you get a job. You don't even go to college. My mom didn't go to college. You go get a job. And that's what I had been doing my whole life. When I did get my degree, I got my degree. Believe it or not, it took me 15 years to get my degree, and I got it online from Arizona State University. And I graduated, or got the degree in 2019. And that's how I was able to quit my corporate job, as well as have my business take off and pay for my son's dyslexic private institution. If I can give you one piece of advice looking back now, I will tell you this. One mistake that I did make is that I did not account for benefits. My son has a rare disorder called periodic fever syndrome. And this is a autoimmune disease. He would go to a rheumatologist and so forth, and there was just so much ongoing things. I guess my brain just didn't think that insurance would be so expensive. So it was something that I did not budget for properly. And that is a mistake that I definitely did make. Insurance was going to be an extra $1,000 to $2,000 a month living in California. And so I opted out of insurance and I decided to just pay as I went, because he didn't go to the doctor every single day. And most of the plans did not cover specialists, which is what he had to see with his rheumatologist and neurologist and so forth. But looking back, if I had calculated that properly, I think I would have worked an additional 2 to 3, if not 4 months, just to have a bigger nest egg to cover our dental, our medical, and so much more. So if you're looking to leave your corporate America job, if you're feeling burnt out, if you're feeling tired, if you feel as if there's more for you to be doing, just know if I can do it, you can do it. If you need help getting started, apply the tips that we discussed today. Make sure you figure out what your daily amount is. Get you a side hustle. Watch the YouTube video that I pointed out for you guys. Get started right away, because remember, I started my online store May of 2019. I didn't end up leaving until July of 2020. That's 14 months later. So you want to start now. Stop dragging your feet. Stop saying you're going to start. Stop overthinking it. The video I told you to watch has very low barrier to entry jobs that you can do to get started, to start making money outside of your 9 to 5. So there's no excuse come 2024. Like honestly, by January, you guys should be starting. And outside of those tips, as well as make sure you budget for medical, my next tip is going to be make sure you budget properly for taxes, because I ended up owing a lot to the IRS and had to set up a payment plan because your girl started making money, but I wasn't putting up my taxes. And that's something I think a lot of entrepreneurs come online and say, oh, you can make all this money, but they don't properly teach you about taxes. And so I ended up hiring an accountant. It was an arm and a leg. I wasted so much money, but I finally was able to get back on track, set up the payment plans, and pay the IRS everything that I owed them. But remember, no one in my family had ever started a business, so this was all new to me. These are things that you want to think about and plan for. So when you're doing that daily amount, remember, it's not just what you need for your bills a day. You also have to include what insurance is going to be and break that out to monthly, what that cost will be for you. And make sure that you're putting up that 20 to 30% for taxes. And then after that's allocated, that remaining money, make sure that balance is your base amount that you need every single day to quit your corporate job. I hope this video was helpful. I hope I didn't go too fast. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow for day 2 of Vlogmas. We're gonna talk about how I am quitting my current job and what I plan to do now. I know you're thinking, job? What is she talking about? Stay tuned. If you haven't turned on my notifications, what are you doing? Thank you to my subscribers who were already subscribed. I appreciate and thank each and every one of you guys. I'll see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 2.